Videos you're proud of. Easily trim your video by selecting the words where you want to start and end. Color your presentation with automatic subtitles and highlighting keywords. Add your brand logo. Add music for an emotional touch. Add your contact info on an animated business card on all your videos. Easily replace green screen with an image or a video loop. Stand out with a web page with your logo, your video at the center, and personalized button for visitors to interact. It's one tap to simultaneously upload your videos on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Always know what to say next with the BIGVU teleprompter.
Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to another BIGVU workshop. Do let us know, where are you watching from today? I'm Robyn Levin, your host for today's workshop, and I am in sunny Florida. Hot, and it is sunny. I'm happy about that. So wherever you are, I hope that you're staying warm. So if you are new to our workshops, let me tell you how to participate, because we want to hear from you. Simply write your question in the chat or give us an answer. Tell us where you are. I see Cleveland is here. Very nice. And Atlanta. Lee from Hawaii. Hello, hello. And San Jose, California. All righty. It's great to have you all here. So let me tell you about our session. We have a very exciting topic for you planned. But first, we will be, just to let you know, we'll be having our program today for about 45 minutes or so. We'll do our best to get your questions answered. We do have a slide presentation, but we want it to be interactive. That means we want to include you. So definitely feel free to participate. If you're watching the replay, let us know in the chat, because I know BIGVU will be watching. So again, my name is Robyn Levin. My company is Robyn Levin Media, a marketing and PR consulting firm based in Florida, or like I'd say, wherever there's Wi-Fi and a water view. So we are going to have a very exciting session today, all about increasing leads, revenue, and so much more with video. And tell us, are you a BIGVU user? You should be, and if not, we definitely have an offer for you at the end of today's session. So hello, Quebec from Canada. Hello, hello, LA, yes, and Ontario. Nice to have you all here. So now is my great pleasure to welcome our guest expert. She is Arooj Sheikh, and she's going to be speaking about how to supercharge revenue using video. So welcome. Let's get this party started.
Hello, hello. Thank you for that warm welcome, and lovely to see you all. Hello from Arizona, Atlanta, Ontario. Lovely to see so many different faces. So we can go ahead and dive right into some introductions. Hello, my name is Arooj, and I have personally been involved in building, launching, or growing over 20 companies. And my entrepreneurial journey encompasses working with high growth companies, small businesses, venture capital firms, venture studios, startup accelerators, you name it, I've done it. And really, over the years, I have seen the inside of a ridiculous number of companies, and this really gives me a unique bird's eye view to any business that I work with or start. And as the CEO of COVO, I help companies accelerate their revenue through our proprietary and trademarked revenue sprint process. I am also a fractional chief revenue officer, and I advise companies on how to grow their revenues. And I also authored the book, The Fundraising Strategy Playbook, which is a guide for entrepreneurs on how to raise venture capital and also get creative with their sources of funding.
Fabulous. Wow, what a background. So I have to ask you, how did you get into this in the first place? Like, you've done so much already, so let's just take a little peek back in history.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say I had always been someone that definitely had interests in a wide variety of areas. And for a very long time, I was never really a specialist in the sense of doing one thing for 40 hours a week. But I loved pattern recognition. I loved the culture of entrepreneurship. They're some of the most interesting people that I've met. And that is really what keeps me here. It's like the culture of people that are so deeply passionate about what they love to do. And just over the years, I'd just been involved in building so many different companies, working in venture capital, seeing the inside of so many different businesses, working at a venture studio where, it was my job every day to build like 7 different companies a day, right? And so it really gave me a zoomed out perspective and allows me to recognize patterns and think of ideas in the sense of, oh, there's, one standard operating procedure that works really well in this industry. How can we apply it in a new and novel way in this one? And so it's really interesting to sort of see those patterns and see how that can apply and get creative with how to increase your revenue.
All right. So did you say you built 7? You were building 7 companies a day?
Yes, every single day, different projects for each company. And honestly, that was my happy place. And so really, with COVO, what we do now is we run revenue sprints for companies to help them accelerate their revenue. So I really get to work with a wide variety of companies from all over the place. And it brings me a lot of joy.
Excellent. Okay, so there's some questions in the chat. What are you watching? You are watching How to Supercharge Your Revenue with Video. And with that, we are going to get into her presentation today. So tune in, take notes, and keep chatting.
Okay. So welcome to our presentation on supercharging revenue with the power of video. So we do have a short introductory slide, and we can go ahead and jump straight to that. Perfect. There we go. So I'll go ahead and run us through our workshop agenda. So welcome to everyone that may be trickling in. I'll go ahead and dive straight into our workshop agenda now. So we'll kick things off with the power of video and then dive straight into 3 powerful frameworks to help you supercharge your revenue with the power of video. So framework number 1 will teach you how to use video to generate more leads. Framework number 2 breaks down how to use video to turn more leads into customers. So this piece will really be focusing on sales conversions, turning more of those leads into your customers. So you're really getting more bang for your buck when it comes to your marketing and sales initiatives. And framework number 3, which will teach you how to use video to generate more revenue per customer. So this is really focusing on product stickiness as well as increasing the customer lifetime value through the use of video. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next slide. So here we have, why is video so powerful? Well, from a psychological standpoint, video stimulates multiple senses. So when it comes to storytelling, it can be far more memorable of a medium than just images or words alone. And in fact, viewers remember 95% of a message when it is conveyed via video. So the retention rate of the marketing message tends to be really high, and the numbers reflect this as well. So marketers using video achieve revenue growth 49% faster compared to those who don't use video. And simply including a video on your landing page can also increase customer conversion rates by over 80%.
So I have a question for you right there, and you might be getting into this. So you mentioned putting a video on your landing page, which is, of course, is an excellent idea. Can you give some parameters around maybe the content, what that would be, and how long that should be?
Yes, absolutely. So something that works really well is a video sales letter. So BIGVU actually has a tool that allows you to create a video sales letter very quickly and very easily. And this is actually something that we'll be covering a little later in the presentation. And so really, it's very easy to record a video sales letter on BIGVU. They actually have an AI tool that writes the script for you. So it makes life very easy and very convenient. And so that's an excellent tool. In terms of length, a couple minutes is usually a great way to go. And really, you know, with the video sales letter, what you want to do is think about who is the person that has landed on your landing page, and really create a message that captivates them into taking specific action. So this could be something as simple as signing up for your email newsletter. It could be to book a call with you, and the CTA in a video sales letter can be different all around. It can be to make a purchase. And so there's a lot of different ways to use that, and be effective with that, and getting an action created from your customer.
Excellent, thank you. Yes, BIGVU makes it so easy to create using their own AI script writer. And whether it's about your company or, like you said, a sales letter, it's a really easy tool. So definitely take advantage of that one for all the BIGVU users. Okay.
Absolutely.
So getting back to your presentation. Appreciate that.
Of course. Thank you for the question. Using video boosts ROI for 87% of video marketers as well. And we can go ahead and dive straight into framework number 1. So framework number 1 is all about using video to generate more leads. So in the sense of content creation, there's a lot in not just creating content, but you want to create quality content that captures as much of your potential target audience as possible. And one of the really key components of creating such quality content is really meeting your customers where they are at. And so there's definitely a best framework to be able to do that. And we'll go ahead and dive right in. Okay. So let me go ahead and introduce you to the 5 levels of customer awareness. So this is a simple but powerful copywriting framework popularized by Eugene Schwartz in his 1966 book called Breakthrough Advertising, which, given the context and given how quickly things change in the world of marketing, for an idea to stick around for this long definitely goes to show just how powerful it is. So the whole premise of this framework is to meet your potential customer where they're at in their current frame of mind. And so we'll be creating very highly targeted content depending on where your customer is in the customer awareness cycle. So this is a little sneak peek of what the 5 levels of customer awareness look like. So as you can see, we have unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and most aware. And for this workshop, I've adapted these 5 customer awareness to help you create more video content that's highly targeted and will appeal to more of your potential customer base and generate more leads that way. So again, we have different customers, different target audiences based on where they are in the customer awareness lifecycle, and having that content tailored can really increase not only your views, but also your engagement. And having that engagement piece of you're meeting your customer where they are at definitely makes a massive difference. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So first of all, we have the unaware phase. This is where the prospect has never heard of either you and the problem or the problem that your product or service solves. So for this particular audience, you're going to want to create educational videos and content that introduce your prospect to the problem and the benefits of addressing it. So this would really be, helping to establish that there is a problem in the first place. Generally speaking, this target audience is the hardest to really sell to, but as we'll move along, there is benefit to establishing the problem and really making sure that you're on the same page moving forward with that. So really, videos in this category should help your audience recognize the symptoms of the problem so that they can diagnose, and recognize that they have this problem. So, you go to the doctor the same way that they're asking you different questions. What symptoms might you have? And they'll tell you, oh, okay, so if you have this symptom, if you have a runny nose, if you have a sore throat, then you probably have a cold, right? So that's the same process that we're going to be following for here. Another example of this could be, is your team swamped with work? Well, it might be time to grow your team, and here are 5 signs you should look for your next hire. So this moves them to the problem-aware category. So here they know that they have a problem, but they're not currently aware that there is a solution out there for them. So really here is a state of frustration, and you don't really have a path forward that you're looking forward to just yet. And so, there's that frustration that that they have of this problem that they're trying to solve. And so that's where you can come in. And to address your problem-aware audience, you can create content that helps them solve their problem. So this can often include how-to styles of content, such as how to file your taxes or how to be a great leader. And so really, especially longer forms types of content can be really helpful for this. And what this does is this positions you as an authority, and it also positions your product or service as a possible solution to their problem, and really gives you insight into really gives the audience insight into how your product or service can help them address that problem. Okay. So next up, we have solution aware. And before we dive into this one, I just want to pause for a moment to see if we have any questions about this framework so far.
Not yet.
Okay, well, we'll keep going then. So now that your audience is aware that there is a solution out there, you'll want to create comparison content that helps differentiate your product or service from your competitors. So examples of this content might be a short video on 6 reasons we're the best dental practice in Chicago. And Vanessa, yes, we can go back to the last slide for just a moment. Did you have a question related to that slide?
And by the way, she will be giving the slides at the end of the presentation, or will it be tomorrow? Well, there'll be a link anyway. You will definitely have access to the slides afterwards. And yes, it is being recorded.
Absolutely. So you'll have access to all of these different slides. So, you can use this as a guide for your own content creation as needed. Okay. So we can go ahead and dive into our 3rd level of customer awareness, solution aware. So now that your audience is aware that there is a solution out there, you'll want to create comparison content. So again, this could also be like a feature grid, right? Is create a video which compares, So here's also the other idea is there can be multiple types of solutions to solve the same problem. So let's say that your goal is to increase revenue. You can purchase a lead generation software, or you can create video content and distribute that through social media. And so those are 2 different solutions to achieving the same goal, which is to increase your revenue. And so really thinking about it strategically in the lens of, hey, how might we think about solving this problem in these different ways, and here are the reasons that this approach or that video might be the best way forward. Okay, number 4. So now your prospective customers are familiar with your product, but they're still deciding if you are right for them. So here you would want to use product demonstration content that creates trust and credibility, really by demonstrating how your product or service works and how it can benefit the customer. So this could include a short product demo video. It might be something along the lines of 4 benefits for cooking with our organic coconut oil brand. And for this particular example, a fun idea could be sharing a video or creating a video content sharing different recipes that are enhanced with the flavor of coconut oil. And we have our last level of customer awareness. Here, people are familiar with your product, they love your product, and they're just about ready to purchase. All you have to do is give them a little push by sharing testimonial videos that can provide your prospect with social proof and also demonstrate some of the benefits that others have experienced by using your product or service. So social proof is definitely a very powerful mechanism. It shows that they're making the right decision, and it really helps to push them over the edge if they're right about to make that decision about purchasing your product. Okay, so generally, the less aware that your prospect is, the less direct you may want to be with your call to action. So you might want to or learn more as a CT versus buy now. And as for most potential customers that are in the most aware category, buy now is totally fair game. And just a quick note on this, any content created for a lower level of customer awareness applies for all of the levels above it. So if you create content for solution aware, it will work for product aware and most aware, but it's not going to work for problem aware and unaware. And so that's really the benefit, is a lot of content, it is really powerful to create problem aware content in particular, because that is a segment of your target audience that really is aware of the problem. They're already searching for solutions. And if you can get in early, then that is a really powerful time to position your product or service as the go-to solution. And given if you are creating problem-aware content, then it is applicable for solution-aware, product-aware, most aware. And then if you are creating a piece of content for most aware, it really does usually only work for that category. And then, but it's also important to have some content for each of these phases. And so as you're planning your content creation, you're planning your video content calendar, you can really think about this in the lens of what content falls into which buckets, and how can we maybe adapt different pieces of content in order to, either move it further up or further down the 5 levels of customer awareness. So do we have any questions for framework number 1?
We had one from that was answered, but it brings up a good point. The question was, can you show an example? Oops, it just went down, of how AI script works. Maybe you could go back to the one we started in the very beginning where you mentioned about the sales AI script writer, the sales letter.
Yes, so we actually will be discussing that in framework 2, so we can actually dive into that shortly. Okay, how would this apply? So we have another question from Vanessa.
Yes.
How would this apply for social selling, for example, an influencer who is building her content / lifestyle brand and selling trusted products at the same time? That is a really great question. I would think about this in the sense of so I think it really depends on what you are selling to your target audience. So if you are an influencer or something of that sort, and you're creating lifestyle content and selling trusted products, it might be something of the lens of thinking about how familiar this person is with you. So when you have your audience, you might think about it in the sense of you have your smaller group of very highly engaged super fans. And these people, they buy every single product that you recommend. They like every one of your posts. They are constantly engaging with you. And so these would be considered your most aware. And so a framework about thinking on how to either replicate this or expand upon this would be, most aware. Think about who falls into your most aware category and how can you target more of those people. So I do think that this framework generally is a little bit more applicable to selling a product or service. But I think that it's also great to think about it in the sense of how you might want to create content accordingly, and create more niche content that really targets that most aware, and in the effort of targeting more of that same audience that is highly engaging with you already. So we have
Ernest has a question. Yes, Ernest has a question. Ernest asks, is it fair to say if the audience is unaware, then education, and when most aware, then activate?
Yes, absolutely. That's a very great way of describing it. So as you can see on the sort of arrow, or as you could see on the arrow for the presentation, generally with less aware, an indirect approach is better, and you are largely focusing on education-based content, whereas with most aware, you're focusing on content that is really helping them to take a specific action, whatever that action might be. That action might be, hey, go to our website and check out or purchase this product, or it could be sign up for this webinar that we have coming up. So that's a very succinct way of describing it. So thank you for that, Ernest.
Okay. I don't know if you saw Vanessa's follow-up question to that.
Yes.
Did you think separating out the followers or customers into VIP who are super engaged makes sense so you can create niche content for them?
Absolutely. I mean, I think there are platforms built exactly for this. I think this is also why, as you are, you have the opportunity to support different creators. And so, you think about the NFT market, for example, right? Or the creator economy. You have people that are investing further into specifically, into more niche content, or into something that's a little bit more more exclusive content. And so there are entire platforms built around this concept of you're really engaging and supporting your super fans. And there is actually a really interesting piece called it's either called 1,000 True Fans or 1,000 Super Fans. And a lot of, big startup and tech companies in the Bay Area and and it's very common in the venture capital industry where as you're building an early product, you really want to focus your time, energy, and effort into finding your core group of the 100, 1,000 people, the 10 people that absolutely love and adore your product, and think about how you can replicate that same customer base, in the sense of, whether you're creating video content for them or whether you're creating, landing pages specifically for that target audience, or you're trying to find more people that fall into that category in terms of your paid ad targeting. And so there's a lot of different applications for that. And I do think that the 5 levels of customer awareness framework ties really well into that.
Good.
Amazing. Any other questions? Okay.
Not right now. Very informative. Thank you, Rochelle. Yes, it is very informative. Arooj, keep on going. Yes, very interesting.
Thank you. Appreciate that feedback, Rochelle. Okay. So framework number 2. Oh, okay, okay. So framework number 2 is all about using video to turn more leads into customers. And this is really important when you're thinking about your marketing spend, your ad spend, whatever initiatives that you're putting into generating more leads. It is very costly to acquire leads. And so as you are doing that, thinking about how you might want to increase that conversion makes it a lot more profitable. And so, this could be in the sense of your sales process, right? In the sense of, okay, so we have this many people go to our landing page, they watch the video, and we create two videos. We're A/B testing it, right? So video 1 has a 20% conversion rate, video 2 has a 30% conversion rate. And so in having that 10% increase in conversions, you get a massive lift in revenue. And so a couple different ways to think about doing that through video. One is the video sales letter. So we had briefly discussed this earlier, and we'd done a big shout out to BIGVU's amazing feature that does this for you, which, let me tell you, pre-BIGVU, pre-Chat GPT, writing a video sales letter is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And so this really shortcuts things for you. A video sales letter is simply a video that pitches your product or service to a potential customer. And so, BIGVU will, it has a feature that uses AI to write the script for you. But really what you want to talk about is, okay, we have this customer persona and they're thinking this thing, and we'd like them to take this action. So this could be purchase this product down below. This could be somewhat similar to product demo. And so there's a lot of different ways that this can be done. It can be a 30-second reel. Yeah.
And then you mentioned A/B testing, just for those that may not be familiar with that term. Could you just touch on that?
Absolutely. So A/B testing is when you're trying out 2 different versions of a similar feature. So let's say that, let's continue with the landing page example for now. And Google actually did a famous A/B test where they tested out 50 different shades of blue to figure out which one got the highest conversions. And so that was a really interesting study, which, maybe we don't need to be as granular as Google because they're Google, or until we get there, and so, but testing out these different elements in the sense of, okay, so we're testing out this copy, buy now versus, or let's say that we are trying to get people to sign up for an event. We can think about it as buy your ticket or reserve your spot, and figure out which copy gets more conversions and more clicks. And so A/B testing is the process of figuring out which of those two is a better approach to helping you achieve a specific desired outcome.
Great.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw that. There is a question here. What tools are used to measure video conversions? And do you mean conversion to take a specific action?
Yes. So conversion can mean very different things. In one approach, conversion can mean someone signing up for your email newsletter. In another, it might mean someone purchasing your product. Another, it might mean signing up for an event or webinar. And so there are definitely a lot of different ways to approach this. And as for video, like tools to measure video conversions, I mean, this can be done in a number of different ways. And first being having your metrics set up. So for some videos, you might just want to be measuring exposure. So how many views are you getting for this particular video? So this could be thinking about, okay, so this is a video that is for the problem aware category. And because it's further down, it's further in the, or it's lower in the customer awareness levels, we want to focus on exposure. And then for most aware, it might be the metric that you might want to measure is how many of the people that watch this video actually purchase something. And so that could be another way of thinking about how you are going about measuring it. And I believe BIGVU also should have some analytics feature. And I think that Bruno can probably share a little more about that, or we can share that information in the chat. Okay. Perfect. So I think we can move on to our next. Okay, there we go. And last but not least, we have video case studies. So in 2022, Uplift Content conducted a survey of 121 SaaS or software as service marketers and found that they ranked case studies as the #1 most effective tactic to increase sales, more so than SEO, blog posts, social media, and other marketing initiatives. And so when you combine the power of a case study with the power of video, you get amazing, amazing results. And so this can be a really powerful tool to help you convert some more of those leads that you're getting. Okay, I actually think we might have skipped over sales presentations. My apologies. So I'll go ahead and cover that very quickly. So a sales presentation is usually made by a sales representative to a prospective customer, usually in real time. So this would be you are booking a product demo with someone and they're giving you a sales presentation. So if you're the benefit of recording this and maybe sharing it either with select individuals, there's a benefit in the sense of if you're pitching a product or service and there are decision makers that are maybe not on the call with you, providing a supplemental video that the person you are speaking with so that they can share it can also help you close more deals. Sometimes, especially for business-to-business deals, there might be someone that is not a decision maker on you selling your product or service, but they can't say no. And so making sure that you can use video and having that sales presentation recorded can help you prevent that veto, so to speak, and hopefully help you land more deals. Okay, I think we can dive into framework number 3 now. Okay, so framework number 3 is how to use video to generate more revenue per customer, and this is always a fun one. So we can dive right in. So the way that we do this is by encouraging your customers to stick around for longer. So this means increasing how sticky your product is, and this can help increase your customer lifetime value. So your customer lifetime value is the total revenue a business can expect from a customer over the entire period of the relationship. So let's say that you run a software business and it costs $10 a month to subscribe to the software tool. Your average customer stays with you for 10 months, which means that the monetary value of your average customer relationship is $100. So by increasing the customer lifetime value, or the amount of time that this customer sticks with your product, to 12 months, we've now increased the customer lifetime value to $120. And so when you are able to do that, increase that at scale, it can massively increase your revenue. And it is far easier to sell to get your customers to stick around for a little bit longer. It is far cheaper as well to get your customers to stick around for a little bit longer than it is to acquire a whole new customer set. And that $20 lift, or that when scaled across your entire customer base, is a lot of revenue. So it's definitely something that's good to try to achieve. It's a very good goal to have in your business. And we'll talk about how we can do this through video. Okay, so we can go ahead and start with some ideas. So first off, we have our onboarding video. So this can be used to build excitement for your product or your service. So let's say that you have a coaching program or a consulting service. You can create a simple welcome, let's get started video, and this really helps to bring a personal touch into that initial customer relationship of, hey, let's get started. Like, here are some things that you can do to prepare for this program. So that's a really great way to think about it. Next, we have our product video tutorials. So you can create a series of video tutorials or little how-to guides to help your customers best make use of your product or service. This can also help you reduce customer frustration and increase satisfaction by providing clear and concise instructions. The usability and customer experience of just having a video tutorial makes things so much easier, so much simpler, and you will lose less customers at different points in your process if you can sort of help to plug that in, so to speak. Next, we have, when slides are loading, apologies. Next, we have video use cases. So here you can create video content sharing interesting use cases of your product to help customers get the most out of your product or service. So let's say that you run a platform like Wix or Squarespace that allows you to build websites, and then you can consider sharing content around what types of websites you can build with the platform. So when you build video use cases that are specific to, oh, I didn't know that this feature could do that, right? And so you help your customers stick around for longer because they're using your product more. And that really helps to increase your customer lifetime value and give you that lift in your revenue as well. So next up, we have video customer success stories. So sharing video customer success stories can really help to inspire and motivate other customers. So this is the same social proof element that we discussed before, but it can actually be used to help reinforce that this is a good buying decision. Someone purchased your product or service and now they're like, okay, there are a bunch of other people that are using this, they've had great results, and I can expect that for myself as well. And so this also helps to get continued buy-in and can also help you increase your customer lifetime value in that way as well. And I think that just also kind of goes to show, like, you should always continually be selling your product to your customers, even if they've already bought it. You want to make sure that they're happy with their experience, and there can be a massive benefit to that as well. Okay, and last but not least, you can also create videos to help offer customer support and answer frequently asked questions. So this can be a helpful resource and improve the overall customer experience as well. So I do also want to leave you with one more thing. The next slide. Okay, so I recognize that a recession is widely expected with the tons of layoffs happening at the Googles and the Amazons of the world, and that right now the idea of supercharging revenue may feel a little far-fetched. And while there may be circumstances that we don't necessarily have control over, there's always, always, always a silver lining. And the silver lining is that a recession is also a massive opportunity for wealth transfer, and that new companies are emerging every single day, and that some of them will be the Googles and Amazons of tomorrow. There are small businesses popping up every day. There are still bakeries that are, opening. There are accounting firms and law firms that are opening. And if you have a product or service that creates irrefutable value for your customers, you will win, and it is safe to proceed with optimism. regardless of what's going on in the world. So if we could actually go back to the last slide, that would be great. Thank you. Okay. And I just want to show you some examples. Like, look at what some of these incredible entrepreneurs have achieved, right? Like, we have entrepreneurs that have built $14 million businesses with 0 employees, or one-person businesses that have crossed 3 million in revenue, or Dylan Jacob on the right upper hand corner, who created $20 million in revenue in 2 years with 0 full-time employees, and then hired a small team to scale it to $150 million plus in revenue in 5 years. And I think this just goes to show like what is possible when you get creative in the ways that you are approaching your business. And it's not all about how much money is your ad spend or how many salespeople you can hire. If you get creative, you can create a lot of leverage in your business. And this is also like why I founded COVO, is we are truly here to empower entrepreneurs to embark on their greatest pursuits, to help you see what was supposed to be your 10-year goal turn into your 6-month goal, and to help you achieve what you didn't know that you could, and that, as you can see by the evidence on the screen, like one-person companies can generate $100,000 months or $1 million months. And again, the key to scaling is not always in how much money you're pouring into your ad spend or in hiring more and more salespeople. And a lot of the times when you get creative, you think about other aspects, other elements of the business, such as increasing customer lifetime value, increasing your sales conversions. You can do and achieve a lot, and it's incredible. And it's for you too. It's just a little creativity. It's possible for you too. And truly, like, a little creativity is like the key to having it all. Like, customers you love working with, more revenue than you know what to do with, and feeling like you actually pulled it off. And it's incredible. And I think we are on to our last slide now.
Okay, so one quick question. Those were excellent examples.
Thank you.
Really well done. I hope you're all taking notes, because if you struggle with creating content, so BIGVU is definitely the way to have your content on video, but Arooj just laid out such a great content calendar for you using these ideas. So definitely rewatch that video, rewatch the workshop, and take advantage of that, because that's really great information. And the question from Susie says, do you suggest doing videos for social selling on YouTube? And at this point, she's not using YouTube. So what do you think of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the question comes down to, where is your target audience? So that really is the best answer that I can give you, is sometimes, like, it's not me that you should be asking. It's like, who are your best customers, right? Like, where are they finding you? Are they finding you on a specific channel? And so doubling down on that, sometimes you can also look at what similar businesses are doing. If they're having a lot of success with the same customer base that you're targeting, then you might also want to consider YouTube. And so, really digging into the customer piece, I think, is always a really great answer to always come back to, is like, where will your customer find the most value? Where are they finding you already? Where are they finding similar businesses to you? Are they investing more through one channel versus another, and thinking about it that way? So sometimes it can be YouTube, sometimes it can be LinkedIn, sometimes it can be Twitter, sometimes it can be whatever, but it's where your customers are. And we actually do have one more slide where we can share some resources. So if we don't have any other questions, I can go ahead and dive quickly into this.
Go for it.
Okay, so we do have some free revenue resources for you. So first is our Supercharging Revenue with Video Resource Kit. So you'll have access to these 3 frameworks and also a mystery bonus framework that we did not cover in this workshop. So if you liked some of this content, you're definitely going to love that one. And you should definitely go check that out. We also have a free revenue newsletter where we share 1 to 3 revenue acceleration strategies every week. And we also have an upcoming podcast launch, so do keep an eye out for that. And last but not least, it's a completely free resource. You're also welcome to sign up for a complimentary call with a revenue strategist from our team. So please do so. Take advantage of these resources. You can find everything on the link below, covo.io/BIGVU. So that's covo.io/BIGVU. And you can also reach us at team@covo.io and connect with me on LinkedIn. I would love to hear from you.
Excellent, excellent. One more resource. Speaking of resources, again, if you are puzzled and thinking about what am I going to create for content, in addition to everything that you just heard today, I have a free download. It's a calendar and it's a cheat sheet, 12-month calendar to help you with some topic ideas that are timely. So use that in conjunction with the information that you had today. We'll simplify it for you and get you going on your way to increasing more leads, more customers, more revenue. So Arooj, thank you so much for an eye-opening presentation. I believe that everybody watching has enjoyed it thoroughly based on the comments and the feedback that we're getting. So definitely appreciate that.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Are there any last questions before we wrap up? Go ahead and put them in the chat. You need a little do. Thank you. That was great and unexpected. All right. Thank you, Susie. Yes, we really appreciate the feedback. And thank you all for participating today. All right. Bye for now. Make sure you sign up for the next one. Good luck with your businesses. Bye, Arooj. Hi, I'm Robyn Levin, founder of Robyn Levin Media, a strategic marketing and PR consulting firm based in Florida. For over 20 years, we've been helping our clients dramatically grow their brand, getting them featured in their dream publications, like this client, Penske Trust Company. If you want to level up your leads, maybe take a look at live selling and use video like BIGVU, give us a call. Happy to help you out. Thanks for watching.